What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've seen you guys. Unfortunately, COVID hit and then work hit. So we all got to work to live and we all got to work to eat, right? So that's been a pretty busy, 3 months now? 2 months since you guys saw the last video. So today, what is today? October the 25th. Just letting you guys know I appreciate you guys for following the channel, watching my videos, watching all the videos with the guys, and they appreciate it as well. And we've hit over 3,000 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. But first, I also wanted to go, before we go into the video, I wanted to let you guys know this is just a reintroduction to Adilcar's G20, which we swapped the VE for a couple years back. You guys might remember that video. I'll put the link up here for that video. He brought the car back, wanted a couple more upgrades, a couple changes, a couple things he didn't like about the car that he wanted to try and fix and upgrade as we went along. I will tell you, I lost quite a bit of footage in the shuffle. I've had the car with me for a couple months now, for a little while, but I've lost video in the shuffle. So when I do mention that we are gonna dyno the car, that's one of the videos, unfortunately, that got lost along with the dynoing of my car. I'm not gonna say expect a video every couple weeks or every 2 weeks like I was before. Unfortunately, due to my work schedule, it's gonna be more like once whenever I can. But I am gonna try to get you guys footage and stuff because I still need to work on my B13. I got a couple of changes I need to make to it. We're still doing a couple changes to my P10. I have parts that I've already ordered for it that are gonna be on the way as well. So we got a couple things coming. So again, thank you guys. And if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get to 4,000 subscribers. That'd be fantastic. I never even thought we'd get to 3,000, but you guys have been showing love and support. And for the TSX guys on the channel, I appreciate you guys as well. We're gonna have more TSX content. That car is gonna get a complete suspension overhaul along with, I think I've mentioned it before, a complete cooling system. So just haven't had time, but we're gonna get to it. Yeah, cool stuff. Just try to improve that car even more and more as my daily driver, which I've been enjoying quite a bit now that I've owned it we're in October for 8 months. It's been a fantastic daily driver. So again, thank you guys. Like and subscribe. Enjoy the video. All right, guys. So now that you've been reintroduced to the car, let me go ahead and show you some of the parts that we're going to be installing as of today. Really, we're not going to get too far, but we're going to try to get a couple of things done because this car is going to hit the dyno soon. And you'll see that in one of the future episodes. But for today, let's go ahead and see what we got for it. So one of the things that Adilcar had mentioned was his clutch pedal didn't feel like it did when we first installed it. Mind you, the car has a Jim Wolf pressure plate with a 2.0 SC disc, so I know what that feels like. That's what I run in my B13 quite consistently. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and install this right here. So let's go ahead and unravel this and I'll show you what it is. All right, so here it is. One of these Andreas Mikko tranny saver brackets. Basically what this does is it allows so that this bracket doesn't flex at all when it's on the transmission itself. So it goes on this way, right? So when you're pulling on the cable, you want absolutely no flex of it basically going towards the firewall when you're pulling on the cable. Not an issue for your hydro guys, but for us cable guys, which I swear by cable only because the feel is so much, I don't know, this is all about feel, right? But I had it powder coated wrinkle black, as you guys can see. But basically that's what we want to keep, is any flex backwards. So if we can improve his clutch pedal feel, that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to go ahead and check to make sure that there is no play in his cable, and if there is, I'll go ahead and adjust it after I go ahead and get this installed. And I'll show you the difference between this and the stock one. Okay, so one of the things that we're gonna have to do is remove this battery, so it gives me more access to the bracket itself that's in there. Also, we're gonna remove this. We might not be using this again after what I show you guys what we have for this. As I stated before, Adilcar brought the car back because he wanted to make a couple upgrades to the car and not compromise comfort or drivability of the car, just improve it as much as possible. So one of my first suggestions was for sure that tranny saver bracket from Andreas Mikko. Great product. You can go ahead and contact Andreas Mikko by actually going on Facebook, look for Andreas Mikko. There's going to be 2 different profiles for him, but I can assure you they're both him, okay? And he will respond to himself if he has to. But we're going to go ahead and remove this. I'm going to get to that bracket and then I'll go ahead and show you guys the difference between the 2 brackets. All right guys, so here's the 2 brackets side by side. As you can tell, this has an extra leg on it. This bolts to one of the transmission bolt holes that's next to the starter. But if you can see this one again, if you see that copper washer that's on there and you recognize it, that just tells you how old school you are. And that just tells you how old school I am. So this is the old copper washer, 99-cent mod to give you more adjustment on your cable. The cool thing is Andreas is nice enough to add some adjustment to the bracket himself. It's not as much as the copper washer is, but it should be more than enough to adjust it. Again, this used to be over here the go-to when you had nothing else, but we have something now, right? So this is going to be more than capable of doing it. So we'll put this in. I took the battery out, I took the tray out, did a little bit of cleaning, okay, just to make sure I wipe down certain areas that I'm already working on. And so here's where the bracket itself goes. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Let's see that right there. So index finger right there, or pointing finger right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new bracket into its place. It's pretty much gonna go this way, right? So there's one bolt, like I mentioned before, that does need to get removed. I'll go ahead and remove that from the transmission itself, and then we'll go ahead and get this in, quick swap, and then we'll adjust the cable. All right, bracket is in, as you can see. It's in there. I went ahead and put the transmission bolt that goes through it for the bracket itself and into the bell housing. I went ahead and adjusted the cable, really nice and adjusted. What he was feeling prior also was the fact that his cable was loose as well. So this is definitely going to feel a lot better for him going forward. Clutch cable is really nicely adjusted at the moment. So I'll go ahead and test it out when I drive it, and then let you know exactly how that feels. But what are we doing with this thing? Well, let me show you what we're doing with that next. Adilcar did mention, hey Juan, I want to find out a way where I can reduce weight and not have to sacrifice comfort in the car. So obviously we can reduce weight by removing things from the interior, and then, you know, door panels and whatever you want to go ahead and remove. I know the stock P10 front seats are really heavy, but again, he didn't want to compromise that. So I said, look, there's a quick and easy way to lose some weight here. Either you get on a diet, or we get something like this on a diet to something like this. So this is the anti-gravity AXT20. This is the same battery I run in my B13. I believe this battery is under 4 pounds. I don't know the exact specifications, but I'll put it up here when I look it up. But I remember it being under 4 pounds, and that's exactly why I bought it. This is a lithium-ion battery that has the restart feature, which means it won't drain under a certain voltage. It actually has a restart feature button on top of it, where if at any point it goes under that voltage, it'll have the safety feature where it'll make sure that it has enough charge once you press the button to let you crank the car over. So it's definitely a good safety feature to have, especially if you don't drive the car all too often, although Adilcar does drive his car 2 to 3 times a week, so this battery will continue to get recharged. But this is what we're going with. I'm gonna show you guys what the weight difference is in a second. We'll put it on the scale, and then we'll go ahead and do that next. Here's my little bathroom scale here. Don't mind my dirty AM90s over there. We're just gonna do a very non-scientific scale reading. I already know kind of what this weighs, but we'll find out right now. See if I can do this one-handed. 35.5 pounds is what it says. 35.5, not 355. So let's see if we can do it one more time, just so we can be as scientific. Oh, error. Okay, just so we can be as scientific as possible. Yep, 35.5. It's pretty consistent. Okay, so by going from that to this little guy, which feels like it's completely empty, we've just saved 30 plus pounds. If this weighs 4 pounds, that's 35.5. Then 31.5 pounds we just took off from the front of the vehicle. So that's 30 some pounds less on the front tires. Hey man, not bad. Plus, here's a little safe start feature. So this will go right here. The cool thing is about these batteries is you can mount them either laying down this way or you're standing up, so it's really up to you how you want to mount it. But I'm gonna see how I'm gonna mount it, because I'm gonna put it on the stock battery tray. So let me go ahead and get to that and try to figure that out, and I'll show you guys what the end result is. So let's check out how this ended up, guys. There's the battery. I was able to install it laying down. It definitely looks a lot better this way, but not only does it look better, it just wasn't functional in the vertical position because you couldn't press the restart button at the top if you needed to. Here there's still a gap back here, so you can definitely slide your finger in there and press the button whenever you like. I know, sounds a little odd, but trust me, usually that always works out as far as advice that I'm gonna give you. So that's in there. Everything fit as far as the tray. The bracket is in there. The clutch feels good. I still haven't test driven it, so I'm gonna do that next. So that is it right then and there. Anti-gravity battery, 30 pounds of weight lost. I can guarantee you this is way more effective than paying for a gym membership these days, especially because you pay for those and then definitely spend more than what this battery costs and never go, for some of us like me, right? So let's go ahead and just talk about my thoughts on this battery for sure, and a couple of other things that we're going to do to this car as it comes. Again, if you guys ever need certain parts that are really, you know, quality and you know they're going to work and they're going to be good, contact Miko. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the future upgrades for this before we go ahead and close this out. So we got the battery in. I'm actually pretty happy with the way it came out. Again, quite a bit of weight loss there, and that bracket, I already test drove the car. It feels great. The car engages perfectly. It did have a little bit of throwout bearing noise, but that's also due to the fact that the cable was poorly adjusted as well. It was definitely extended a little bit, so I adjusted that out. Everything's good to go on the car now. So next video you'll see another topic for the P10 that I see that it's never really covered. I'm actually going to do this to my P10 as well. I just did a little bit of research, but you'll see it in the next episode. So again, if you guys like content like this, I appreciate you guys for liking and subscribing, because I know you will, especially right now. If you haven't done it, right now is the time. Okay, I'll wait. Cool. 6 of you did it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So again, guys, for Sergio, Robert, Caesar, Leo, AJ, and everybody else you see in these videos, peace. Thank you. Be safe. Again, guys, for Sergio, Robert, Cizo,